I am Greg Heel from McPhail Center for Music, and we'll be talking about some practice tips for the MMEA All-State Audition Etudes for alto saxophone. First of all, the lyrical etude on page 6 in F major. A few things. My suggestion for tempo is about 84 for a quarter note on this. Make sure you watch the dynamics. It starts with piano, and there's a big crescendo at 16. Slight crescendos and decrescendos throughout, so pay attention to those as it flows. There are footnotes for the turns in measures 5 and 6 that are listed at the bottom of the page. Very important to remember, by the way, the page has a couple of little changes in those turns. As you'll notice, measure 6 has a B natural and a G sharp as part of the turn, and it's noted in the little, both the examples and the footnote. Also, bar 5 is a 3-note turn, where bar 6 is 4 notes. Because you're going to a different note. And that's the same for measure 14. Make sure you use a little more air to bring out the low C's, because sometimes those they'll bark back at you a little bit, especially the ones you have to articulate, like in measure 4. So just a little more air to make that sound. Also, bar 16 has a slight articulation on the notes. You have a slur and then you have staccato dots. And using vibrato on any of the longer notes, but especially on measures 17 and 18 at the end, would be really nice for a big finish. Now we turn to the G minor etude on page 18, the technical etude. And on this piece, Allegro, my suggestion is, since it's in 6/8, that the dotted quarter is about 72, somewhere in that realm. Maybe a little slower, a little faster, depending on the player, but make sure it's even all throughout and use a metronome. Watch your dynamics. It starts medium loud and eventually gets up to forte and fortissimo, so important to note the dynamic changes. Staccato throughout unless otherwise indicated. Plan your breaths, make them quick, because there's not much room to breathe in here. I suggest marking your accidentals and key signature noted notes to assist the accuracy of your practicing. But in measures 16 and 17, make sure you add accents to the slurred line in there, to make that pop out, and they're marked heavy accents. In measure 19, we go return to all staccato notes, and that goes all the way to the end when we hit bar 25 where we end. And one last tip, make sure that you begin your practice on this slowly. It'll give you a lot of success.